Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. And today we're going to dive into the Star of David Part 2, as well as traditions and practices of the Hebrews. So, first off, I'd like to start off and just give a little explanation into what we're going to be discussing and why. So, first and foremost, the Hebrews take their Sabbath on Saturday, and that is Saturn's Day. And for those who know Roman mythology, Saturn is Father Time. So why do the Hebrews take their Sabbath on Father Time's Day? Well, we'll get into that. So I'd like to start off with this. The Star of David is representing the star in the east, the East Star. You know, the star that rises in the east and gives life and fertility to the land and to all life forms. And what star is that? Well, it's the sun. And, you know, if you think about it, Middle Eastern areas, the sun is what truly gives life. I mean, really, it's what gives life everywhere. But I digress. For those that are in the know, you know that these Abrahamic religions, the sun is very significant, and I'm going to dive into that today. So, during meditation the other day, I meditated on the Star of David and looked for possible meanings. And one thing that stood out to me was I took a Star of David and I put it up next to a clock. And oddly enough, it matches up. If you were to put the arm right there in the center, it matches up perfectly if it's the same size as that Star of David. So, I mean, that's obviously they didn't have clocks back then, you know, or maybe they did. I don't know. I wasn't there. But, you know, from what we've been told, they were more primitive, so to speak. And so they didn't have like the clocks that we have. But it's kind of weird how the clocks that we have match up with those points on the Star of David. Okay, and something else that was revealed to me. You take the back of the US $1 bill. You look above the eagle's head. And you've got a Star of David made out of 13 stars. Now, what's even funnier is if you look at the eagle, the two wings, the two legs, and the head and tail make the shape of a Star of David. That's, I mean, it's weird. And not saying that there's a whole bunch of hidden symbolism in there or not, you know. It just is what it is. You know, I highly recommend that everyone do their own research on things. But also, you place the summer solstice up here, right? And then July, August, and then at this halfway point, we have the autumnal equinox. You know, a little bit before Michaelmas Day. There's Michaelmas Day and there's Christmas Day. So just pay attention to that. October, November, December 21st to the 25th. The 21st is the winter solstice, and the 21st to the 25th is known as the Arch of Capricorn, also known as the Manger of the Goat, where Jesus was born in. Okay, then we got January, February, March 21st. Usually it's March 21st. That is the spring or vernal equinox. And as discussed before, vernal comes from the Latin root ver, which means either spring or truth. Because, I just like to say that's rather interesting, because as the sun crucifies itself on the vernal equinox, crosses the vernal equinox, it comes back into the 7 months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. The 7 months of your farming time. Okay, these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months of crystallization or decay or death. These are the cold months where most plants don't survive. These are the months where plants start to survive. This vernal equinox, it's about fertility, okay, which is why Easter has eggs. We celebrate Easter by Easter egg hunts, and that's symbolic of Ishtar, the Babylonian fertility god. Ishtar is the East Star, the star in the east that rises and is the giver of all good things on this planet. Okay? So that's really important to understand. Something else that's important to understand is if you pay attention, December 21st is the solstice, and then on the 25th is the end of the Arch of Capricorn. That is because the sun sits at this point for 3 days and then starts to move. Then up here, sun will sit for 3 days and then start moving again on the 25th, which is the first day of the calendar of Romulus. So this is rather important stuff to understand. Okay, you take the solstices and the equinoxes, and it makes your cross, your solar cross. There's a lot of symbology in all that. So, vernal. Let's talk about vernal again. So the Roman goddess of truth is known as Veritas. As discussed before, this is where we get words like verify and veri, because veri means truly. Truly is truth. And Veritas is the goddess of truth. So language is an important thing to comprehend when it comes to, I guess, demystifying some of these books. But there's also some more symbology in the Star of David that a lot of people don't see, and some of them see and just disregard. So let's explore that a little bit. So, as we know, there's the two triangles, the upright and the inverted triangle. This can mean many things. North and south, positive and negative, yin and yang, the things of the heavens and the things of the earth. Your masculine and feminine. The salts and the oils in plant alchemy. Which is, a very broad topic. But another thing that I see is we got diamonds, right? Well, there's 3 diamonds here. A trinity. Well, kind of makes me think back to my childhood when I would hear Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. And the symbology starts to come full circle. Because the stars, as we are told in modern scientism, are the same as our sun, so to speak. Obviously there's different kinds of stars. There's white stars and red stars, which that's true. As a matter of fact, I believe it is Aldebaran at the Eye of Taurus. That is a red star. And then across from it, I believe is Antares, which is another red star. So, these are Luke and John. Okay, Luke is the bull. And I'd have to go into my notes to figure out the rest. And some of this information, it comes straight from Dylan Sicoscio, who's, again, he's brilliant. He does really great work at dissecting these things and just helping people figure out where they've been deceived. But you got your red stars, and then over here, this is Leo, and then Aquarius. So Leo and Aquarius. These are your white stars. And this is Matthew and Mark. Okay? Well, this is Matthew and this is Mark. Excuse me. Which also would make sense why the popes would, constantly sit there and do this. Okay, well, so the Hebrews, again, they take their Sabbath on Saturn's day. Saturn is Father Time. Okay, and Saturn is the god of the harvest, and Saturn is basically the judge over the 5 months of the crystallization. And so if the Hebrews are placing Saturn first, then Saturn is in winter. So it would make sense why Matthew is first, then Mark, Luke, and John. Now I'm sure this pertains to other, like in the Old Testament. I'll do some more research into that. But yeah, this is rather important stuff. Now, this can also be seen on the grander scale of the macrocosm. Okay, so again, let's avert our eyes to the Star of David. So, we have the astrological signs, right? Well, these ages, we are currently in the age of Aquarius. We were in the age of Pisces. So, Pisces is February to March. And now we're in the age of Aquarius. And this is how you can keep track of time. Okay, so on our everyday scale, can keep track of time. Throughout the year, through the months, we can keep track of time. And throughout the millennia, we can keep track of time and figure out where the sun is going to be, at what time. And this is part of the sacred science of the stars. And I wish I would have known all that, but I mean, it's encoded in the Bible. I mean, think about that number 12. There's 12 months, 12 hours on a clock. There's 12 music notes. There's the 7 majors and then the 5 minors. We only ever really focus on the majors. You can see it on a piano. Like it's there. You can see it. It's verifiable. But you got your 12 music notes. And then there's the 12 tribes of Judea. There's the 12 apostles of Christ. You guys, we got to put some logic to these things. I wish I would have known some of these things when I was younger. It would have given me a little bit more of a head start. But at the same time, I regret nothing. Because I have a beautiful life today. I don't need anything other than what I have right now. I sure would like to have certain things, but there's a big difference between desire and need. There's a big difference between something that you want and something that is a necessity. I don't even want to have to eat food, because some foods hurt me when I eat it. I don't like going through that pain, but it's a learning experience. Life is a learning experience. It's all about learning, So I would recommend that everybody do their research. Everybody look into these things. Whoever's watching this video, look into these things and don't take what I have to say as truth. Do your own research. Verify it yourself. This is the principle that I want to teach today, is always approach things with some level of skepticism. I'm not saying be a rigid skeptic when it comes to everything, but question everything. Like, we can't just take what we're told for face value and say that's how it is, because that's what has brought us into this world that we're in right now. Everyone believes that, certain things are dangerous when they're really not. I mean, shit, I was told my whole life that, like, things like lentils and peanuts had to be cooked, but turns out if you soak them in water, rinse them a couple times, and over a period of days you let them sprout, you can eat them raw, and it's way healthier for you. Tastes way different, but who cares? Like, you shouldn't eat just for pleasure. You should eat for the nourishment that it provides. Do some research into the things of life that make you question the validity of what you've been told. So if religion is something that brings up that level of antipathy and makes you just wonder about life, do some research into it. Step outside of your comfort zone. If you're a Christian, then step away from Christianity and look into other things. Start with Islam or Hinduism. I mean, Hinduism is what helped bring it full circle for me. I mean, I practice Hindu meditation daily. And that's okay. You don't have to subscribe to a belief system to get the wisdom and knowledge out of these religious systems. It's not a necessity. And if you want to subscribe to that, that's your choice. If you want to believe that, that's fine. That's completely up to you, so long as you understand what is truth. Okay? So I met up with a friend yesterday, and I had to ask him, because he was going through a rough time. But I had to ask him, do you want to serve truth or lies? And this is part of the Bible, really. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. And so everyone wants to serve Jesus, but they don't know how to serve Jesus. They think that they're supposed to worship him and fall down at his feet. And, oh my God, he's so perfect. Even though, like, the Dead Sea Scrolls tell you something completely different. But whatever, that's a discussion for another day. But Jesus is the truth. So if you want to serve Jesus, you want to serve Christ, you have to serve the truth. You can't serve lies. You have to figure out the truth and speak it. Okay? So this is synonymous with words like vernacular. Vernacular is a way of speaking. It's a language. The truth has to be spoken in order to really be understood. I mean, one of my mentors, I ended up misinterpreting something that he said in a comment section on YouTube, because there's a certain context, a certain level of truth missing from text. Okay, when the truth is spoken, it is much clearer. That is when you can fully understand the truth for what it is when it is spoken and you can see what's in front of you. Okay? And that's really important, you guys. It's one thing to know the truth, but you have to speak it to people. That has been my most rewarding thing in life, and also the thing that some people would consider one of the most debilitating, because I speak the truth and I speak it often. I don't have very many friends that want to hang out with me, and that's fine. I don't care. So just know that it can get kind of weird sometimes. People start treating you different, but there is no greater purpose than to serve the truth and to serve the true will of creation. At least, that's how I feel. Some people might feel differently. Whatever. I don't care. I don't subscribe to moral relativism, but hey, to each their own, as long as you're not hurting people. But so let's bring this full circle. We've got our daily clock, our yearly clock, and our clock of the ages. There's a trinity right there. Now, another thing that you'll notice about the Star of David is it makes a crown. Put that on your head and it looks like a crown. Why is this important? Well, one of the symbols for Saturn is a crown. And again, Saturn represents time. So the Star of David is all representative of time. It's the sun's path through the sky daily, through the sky yearly, and then through the ages. That's the trinity that I'm seeing in that. And it's come full circle for me for that. Again, do your own research. Verify what I have to say or disprove it. If you can disprove it, obviously the burden of proof lies with you. You can't just say that I'm wrong and then not back it up with something. But, if you can prove me wrong, great. No hard feelings. But do your own research and just always with an open mind. The scientific method requires you. If you want to act like a true scientist, not the scientism of today, but like a true person of science, the scientific method says to search and search, research again and again, always with an open mind. And a true scientist will welcome the idea of being wrong, because it's an exciting concept, because, hey, that means I get to study more. That means I get to look further into things. And I'll keep looking further into things regardless, but yeah. So with that being said, I'm going to sign off. I hope everybody has a great day today. And just love life. Love your neighbor, and love this place. The sooner that we get into what's the word I'm thinking of? The sooner we get into the philosophy of just loving life and loving people, the sooner we can really start to change this place. Everyone wants to focus on everybody else, before they change themselves. Well, Jesus, the truth, says to focus on the log in your own eye before you focus on the splinter in your neighbor's. All right? So be the example that you want to see in people. If you want to see people calm down, you got to make sure that you are projecting a calm, peaceful energy, because otherwise you're going to get back exactly what you're putting out into the universe. If you want to see love, then you gotta put love out into the universe. It's just, it's Hermeticism, law of attraction, right there. What you speak about and what you think about is ultimately what you're going to manifest into this reality. So if you're constantly dealing with angry thoughts, you're going to be dealing with some angry people all the time. Just focus on manifesting love and knowledge and truth, and me, I'd rather serve truth over lies, no matter what it necessarily costs me, and that's okay. That's my preference. Everybody has their own. So long as we approach things out of love and respect for our fellow man, and we stop hurting people. That's basically the commandments right there. Don't do things that are going to hurt people, and this world will be a better place. So with that being said, everyone, have a great day. I don't know you, but I love you. Whoever's watching this, love you like a brother or sister, and just enjoy your life today. Take it one step, 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day at a time of just loving your life. Focus on the things that matter and not the things that don't. All right.